الحمد لله الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده محمد المصطفى حبيبنا المجتبى قدوة الأنبياء والأولياء وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين الذين إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون آمنت بالله صدق الله العظيم وبلغ رسوله الحبيب الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Respected elders and brothers, we are fortunate that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has blessed us. Our mere presence in the masjid at this time is a blessing in itself. And being among the first to come, the rewards that are mentioned are great. And therefore, those that come later, their reward actually diminishes as they come later, to an extent that when the second adhan, as we know it, is given, anyone that comes after them, no reward is written for them at all. They are totally deprived of any reward. And all we have to do is say, Allahumma lakal hamd wa lakal shukr. This in itself is the fadl of Allah. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. He grants it to whom He wishes. At times people wish to come, but they get caught up with so many things that they cannot make it. And that is one very important factor we should realize. That whatever happens is all within the control of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك عمن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير. Allah is Malik al-Mulk. All kingdoms, Allah owns the kingdoms of the kings. He is not the king of the kings, He is the owner of all the kings. He is not Malik, He is Malik. And in accordance to His wish, that's what happens. Rulership is given to whom He wills, and He removes those from power who He wills. He grants izzat and respect to whom He wills, and He grants disgrace to whom He wills. All good is in Allah's hands. And remember, the beauty of the Quran, although it doesn't say no, even the bad is in Allah's hands, Allah has power over everything, whether good or whether bad. So whatever happens is within the mashiat of Allah. La tasqutu min waraqa. No leaf can fall. And no drop of water can drop down. Nothing can occur out of the mashiat of Allah. And that is something which is necessary for us to understand as part of our imaniyat, as part of our basic belief. Unfortunately, our situation has become such that anything that does not appease to our desire and our thought, we automatically make it into a conspiracy. Truthfully, for us to ponder a bit, can somebody make a disease and cause millions of people to die without the will of Allah? Can somebody be the cause of death of somebody else? Yes. Either by violence, negligence, or mistake. But the death coming to that person, is it because that person caused it or because Allah desired it? We have seen situations where an individual fell down from a building, 5, 6 stories, fell down, fell on the ground, got up, everything normal, so he could walk. He decided that he wants to cross the road and he started running. As he ran across the road, a drunk driver came in the speed and bumped him and he passed away because of that. His death was not caused by the fall, because Allah did not will it. Take somebody from the 2nd or 3rd floor and throw him down and see what happens if he falls headlong. Even if he falls anyway, even onto his legs. Then from the 6th and 7th story, it's impossible to think of survival. That means from 20 stories and up. Yet he survives. I remember many years ago, Yusuf Islam mentioned something. He said what made him realize that there is a Rabb and what brought him to Islam, the initial thing, he mentioned that he was living in England, and at the channel, the English channel, was trying to cross it with a speedboat. He slipped and fell into the water and he did not know how to swim. He said he saw death flash in front of his eyes. But somehow or the other he caught on to something and the flow of the water brought him to shore. It's not a big distance. And then he mentioned he was sitting in his sister's house months and years later. Month or years later, I'm not so sure. He mentioned this to me directly. This is what I'm quoting to you. Looking after his niece. And she was playing, and he was busy, and he had a bucket of water there. Not thinking, he left her, and he went out for a minute. He said when he returned, while playing, one of her toys fell into the water, and she tried to take it out from the bucket. Being small, she slipped and fell into the bucket and could not come out. By the time he came, she had passed away. He said, me that did not know how to swim in the wide ocean got saved, and here in a small bucket of water, this innocent child's life was taken. It is not your luck. It is nothing else but the will of Allah. And that's what made him to turn to being an agnostic, and then realizing about Islam, reading and accepting. And alhamdulillah, till today is a Muslim. So for this, there is lesson in us and for us that no matter what, whatever Allah wills will occur. To such an extent, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, if both the whole world, men and jinn, get together and try to benefit you with something which Allah has not willed for you, they will never be able to do it. And if the whole world gets together and tries to remove from you one benefit which Allah has given you, only one, if Allah does not will it, they will never be able to do it. This is reality in life. And for us, it is for us to understand and correct our iman. What is the weakness within our iman? That immediately, if anything happens, we will look for an excuse to justify the thing, its occurrence or non-occurrence. No, Allah. Oh, this person, this bad luck, that person, that thing, this, that. Forever on our tongues. Yes. The listening of one hadith wherein Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that Allah Ta'ala orders the malaika to go and take the life of a newborn baby, of a person that could never have children for years, and finally his wife gives birth. Those that cannot have children knows it. Those that have children will understand. And when they get the child, what goes through the joy that they have, and then suddenly the child is taken away. Allah Ta'ala asked the malaika, what have you done? Have you taken the life of the small child? He said, yes. Then he asked, what was the condition of the father when he was taken? He said, he sighed and he said, this is what Allah has willed and which I have to accept. And Allah says, know for him that this person, the greatest castle I will build for him in Jannah. And for him, whatever he wishes, I will grant him. This is realization of who Allah is. And this is what we require in Iman. And to add to this, we all know that the whole world has been faced with this pandemic. And many a times I spoke about it for people's information. And the very same thing was mentioned, that we should realize that the disease that came into the world is not the doing of whatever his name is, Gates or whatever, or the doing of this one and the doing of China and that. It is what Allah willed to happen. What they did, they did. But the end result still lies within the hands of Allah. And it is a test for us. And to really see what our conditions are going to be in that test. And like that, we go through many tests in our life. The test of theft, the fear of theft and the fear of harm. Do what is necessary. But that necessity must not be out of the bounds of Sharia. That what is within the boundaries of Sharia, that we should do. I normally emphasize on this, Wallahi Ladhi, not to try and degrade people, but for us to realize that we forgot that tawakkul on Allah, and we got tawakkul in that tawakkul on whatever policy that they have taken out, and the tawakkul policy of the insurance. To such an extent, even our life we started to insure. Where the only definitely in our life is death, that no person can deny. Yet on that too we want insurance, knowing it's against the command of Allah. But are we willing to leave it for the sake of Allah? Who is willing to say, for the sake of Allah, let me cancel every insurance I have, my car insurance, my house insurance, whatever it is? Test our iman. And for a while this was the necessity, because the time that we are coming to, Wallahi al-Azim, we do not realize. If Allah gives me health and gives me the strength, from a book that was written 900 years ago, I will prove that whatever you're seeing happening, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam informed us about it. A challenge for somebody to deny. Proof is within my hand. For us, one important factor, that our tawakkul on Allah has to be correct. And at times, things happen. No matter what happens, like many times, like in our own cases I know of, where somebody who passed away with a disease, will make other excuses, feeling shy of it. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Man mata bimubtala fahuwa shaheed. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said he's a shaheed, but we shy. No, it was some complications. Allah gave him death in that way, Allah gave it to him. Wallah, we have need to think. And one more thing, many a time I say, but moulana, you had social distancing. In the beginning, all had. There was a break we never had. And the reason why I took it back, because some of our people went to the police, and I can bring the commissioner that came to me and told me and gave me names of who went to report. We don't have here. The others never had, but they reported me. Our community. Like how many years ago they reported me that I was in Afghanistan, I'm a terrorist, I belong to the Osama bin Laden Al-Qaeda sect. People sitting in this very same majlis now. I did it for one reason. Stay out of trouble. When I get in trouble, who's going to help, as I asked? And also, make dua to Allah to remove, which I always ask people to do. And Allah's fadl, the board of the school ministry have mentioned that they want all students to come back to school, and that social distancing in the class is removed. If they can remove it in that class, can we remove it in the class of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when we are performing our salah? So not to be against them, to they give permission, we take the permission. It was not that because of the sickness. You know that? But it was a lesson for us to learn. And therefore all along I have been mentioning this topic. And inshallah from today, we will stand shoulder to shoulder. But to keep it in a way, one saf will leave, tell a short while, and then we'll put it every saf. Saf full, leave one saf. In that way, we will be performing our salah from Jummah continuously, inshallah. Wa akhiru da'wana.